What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate so much support on Monday's video about some Dynasty sells that I'm coming at you again this week with a Dynasty buy video. Once again, welcome to the channel, Dynasty Drip. If you have any Dynasty questions, hit subscribe, like the video, and show me a comment below. I will always respond to everything as soon as I see it. But let's get today's video kicked off with the first trade and player that I'm looking to buy this offseason, and that's going to be a quarterback. He's going to be a second-year player, and that's going to be J.J. McCarthy, currently QB 18 on Keep Trade Cut. The reason I'm interested in buying J.J. McCarthy is I was looking on Keep Trade Cut, and he is lower than quarterbacks like Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Drake May. Now, I think Drake May kind of separated himself with his athletic ability. Bo Nix I like as well, but the reason for me is I just think there's a great time to go get J.J. McCarthy, especially what we are perceiving as a weak quarterback class. Yes, I may or may not take Cam Ward over him depending on landing spot, but I definitely prefer McCarthy to Shedeur or anyone else that I have scouted so far. The first trade offer I want to look at here is going to be J.J. McCarthy. Can I trade away Kenneth Walker and John Mechie to get J.J. McCarthy onto my Dynasty roster? What I like about J.J. McCarthy is it seems like he's going to be the starter. You know, they haven't really committed to Sam Darnold yet. He's a first-round pick, and he's just tied to a great offense, right? Kevin O'Connell has basically been a QB whisperer. He's made all the quarterbacks he's coached in Minnesota look good. Darnold, Nick Mullins, Kirk Cousins, Joshua Dobbs, right? These have all been in the last couple of seasons, but O'Connell knows what he's doing as an offensive coach, not to mention Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and a pretty solid offensive line as well. And they play indoors for half of their games. You know, add a couple more playing at Detroit. So I think J.J. McCarthy is a very good trade target to buy this offseason. Next one, if you don't have Kenneth Walker and Mechie, I would also be willing to trade just Jonathan Taylor straight up for J.J. McCarthy. I like Jonathan Taylor and I understand attacking a running back, but for me right now, I'm either attacking super veteran running backs who are older and being devalued, or I'm just going to wait and try to use my rookie picks to go get some running backs. I think Jonathan Taylor is kind of in that spot where I'm willing to give him away if I can get a young quarterback on my team that may be more of a need for my current roster. Next one is going to be a wide receiver, and this is just someone who I think is a little undervalued right now, coming off a Super Bowl championship, but that's going to be Devontae Smith. Now, Devontae Smith is in an offense where he is the number 2 pass catcher. He kind of is a boom-busty kind of player, but he definitely has league-winning and week-winning upside on any given week. I had him on multiple teams this year, and he absolutely dominated in championship week. So he has that upside to be a very good wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 for your Dynasty team. Also, if someone goes down on Philly, you know, if A.J. Brown's out for a couple games, obviously Devonta Smith has an incredible ceiling. But for me, he's just an amazing player, and we don't really know what his career is going to look like 3 years from now. So I'm willing to bet that he's just an incredible talent, and he will stay relevant. Now, the trade offer I'm going to suggest here, I may have some people be like, you can never get Devontae Smith for that in my league. Look, it's totally possible, but I've made this exact trade for Devontae Smith in 2 leagues now this offseason. The trade is going to be giving away 2 second-round picks this year. An early one usually is what you need to kind of get the hook, and then you throw the later second to really seal the deal. And this is going to be 2-3 and 2-10. I've basically made this exact trade in a Dynasty Best Ball league this offseason just because I like the upside of Devontae Smith, man. I understand he's not a top 10 wide receiver, but after 5 to maybe 7 guys, it's really hard to start distinguishing the difference between wide receiver 10, wide receiver 24, 25. And I think Devonta Smith is right in that sweet spot. He's got the contract, he's got a quarterback, he's got a good offensive team, and those are all things I'm looking for when it comes to attacking and buying wide receivers in the offseason. Next one is going to be a running back, the first of 2 running backs on today's show. Signed a new deal during the year with his team last year, and that's going to be Chuba Hubbard, or if we like to call him Chubba Hubbard, it's just more fun to say. But I think the new deal he got during the year, I think Canales being in year 2 as the coach there in Carolina, and I think Jonathan Brooks probably being out all year are all very good things for Chuba Hubbard. They have a lot of holes on this team. They're not going to attack a running back high in the draft. Yeah, they may add one later as depth just because with no Jonathan Brooks, they're going to need another guy there. But they paid Chuba. They got a lot of holes. They need to fix the wide receiver room and the defense before they're going to attack a high round running back in this draft class. And Chuba Hubbard was very good last year, man. He was on the field. He was basically a top 10 running back. He's being valued at RB19 currently on Keep Trade Cut. So I think that's a pretty fair price to go get him. What I'm looking at here as this trade offer is, can I trade a late second and a late third to go get Chuba Hubbard? I love attacking veteran players who have solidified roles on their team with my second, third, fourth round draft picks or my late first round draft picks. I think this would be a great move if you earned this 2-7 throughout the last year. Let's say you actually, the 2-7 was your pick. You made the playoffs, but you got bounced in the first round. I think you could add a very good weekly starter in Chuba Hubbard, who's going to come in and give you a player for the next 2 to 3 years on your dynasty team. Where, yeah, you could hit on 2-7, you could hit on 3-7, but there are no guarantees, and I would much rather just get the veteran 25, almost 26-year-old player in Chuba Hubbard, who's going to give me a nice 2 to 3 year window at the running back position. Next one is going to be more of that veteran presence at running back, and that's going to be Alvin Kamara, man. He kind of just will not go away in Dynasty. Now, it's a big plus if you play in a PPR league because he catches a lot of balls and he's an amazing pass catcher, especially with the ball in his hands after. He is 29, gonna be 30. I understand it. He's RB24 on Keep Trade Cut, so he's not valued super high. But I love trading draft picks for this, especially in this example where I'm going to be the defending champion. If I have 212 and 312, I'm definitely going to move those picks and go get Alvin Kamara on my team, get another running back. I personally cannot have enough running backs on my team if I am competing in Dynasty Fantasy Football. I want to have 4 or 5 options because injuries always occur at running back, and you need to be prepared so you do not have to overpay during the season. What I like about Alvin Kamara is he gets Kellen Moore, who just gave, obviously, Saquon Barkley a record-breaking year. Now, Alvin Kamara is not Saquon Barkley. Maybe he once was close when he was younger, but he is not that sort of breakaway threat. But Kellen Moore is a good offensive coach, and he understands who his best wide receivers and running backs are. It's going to be Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and he's going to get them the ball to make that offense go. I also like that division. I think it's kind of wide open. I don't know if there's too many dominating defenses in the NFC South, and that's going to be a bulk of Alvin Kamara's game. So I just really like the opportunity for him to be a, late RB1, early RB2 kind of thing come the end of the season, and I think you can get a very good value on him today. So I'm willing to go pay for him. And the last player I want to talk about today is going to be a tight end. It's the only one I'm going to speak about for this position in this video. It's going to be Cole Kmet. Now, I just think Cole Kmet is a little forgotten. I think he's a pretty good player. I just think he was in a rough situation the past couple years in Chicago. But Ben Johnson is coming in. He's probably going to help Caleb Williams turn it around. They're fixing the offensive line. Let's not forget that Sam Laporta had 2 incredible seasons in Detroit with Ben Johnson as his offensive coordinator. So Ben Johnson knows how to get the tight end involved, and I think Cole Kmet's going to stay on the field. He may not be as good as, Sam Laporta is, but he's a very good player. He's on the Bears. He got paid. And I think for me, I think he could be a very good depth piece to your tight end room. I'm suggesting trading away Rashad Bateman, who's just a very TD-dependent wide receiver. Guys, I don't really want to depend on. So to me, I would love to add Cole Kmet to my tight end room and just buy in that maybe there is an uptick in his production if an offensive change occurs in Chicago. You need to be ahead of these curves, not behind them, if you want to get good value in Dynasty Fantasy Football. But thank you guys for tuning in to the video. If you didn't subscribe yet, please hit subscribe, like the video, comment me if you have any trade questions, any video questions you want to see made. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will look forward to seeing you next week for some more Dynasty content this offseason.